Boog, what'd you learn about the 49ers after they left the Dome with a 2-point win?
Well, even when their defense isn't great, Jimmy Garoppolo can make a play. And I think that was the one question that we had about the 49ers is whether or not Jimmy Garoppolo could win the game kind of on his own. And dare I say, the defense got shredded. Drew Brees, Jared Cook, they were outstanding. But Jimmy Garoppolo, man, you got to give him credit. And then how about the play calling in that game between Sean Payton and Kyle Shanahan? I mean, it was a master class on how to carve up really good defenses because I still believe the Saints and the 49ers have a good defense.
San Francisco, best team in the league right now?
I mean, it goes back and forth. I mean, how are you going to say San Francisco is the best when Baltimore beat them?
Yeah.
What about Seattle? You know, I still think that the Saints are a really good team. As I've told you guys all year long, I think there's a handful of teams, probably 6 or 7, that feel like on any given Sunday they can win a championship right now.
You mentioned the Saints' defense. They lose Marcus Davenport. What's that do to them?
I mean, it definitely weakens them.
Yeah.
I mean, Davenport was having his best year so far, and he was really coming on strong using – we talked about him earlier in the season about can he use his physical gifts to make plays. And you started to see his length, his athleticism, his ability to move. It's almost like he woke up one day and said, you know what? I got this explosive body. Let me see what I can do. In every game, he started to develop new moves and use different things. I just hate to see it happen to him.
Yeah, it's a bummer, man. 6 sacks, 3 fumbles here in year number 2, and it's looking like we're not going to get to see him again till year 3. Boog, a lot of Saints fans are playing the playoff game, the seeding games, looking where the season could go from here. The bottom line takeaway is that Saints, if they want to be the 1 or the 2 seed, they need the Green Bay Packers to lose another game. What is your current opinion of that Green Bay team?
I think it's a team that's getting better, to be honest with you.
So what I like to
early
hear.
in the season, well, I don't worry about seeding until like the last 2 weeks. Right now, I think we're a couple weeks out from worrying about seeding. Green Bay, we came into the season, can Matt LaFleur and Aaron Rodgers get along? What about the defense? Well, the defense is playing pretty good. I think they got some impact players. Amos, the Smith brothers, I think those guys are playing well. Green Bay isn't like this unbeatable team, but they're a way better team than they were last year. Now, I still think there's a high possibility they're going to lose a game, probably on the 23rd at Minnesota. Don't quote me on that, but that's going to be a really tough game on the road, a couple of days before Christmas. Everybody's going to be thinking about Santa, milk and cookies. Could be one of those games that they walk into. So if I'm New Orleans, I'm worried about my business. I'm worried about getting my guys to play well, and I think in the end, it'll all work out.
Yeah, and Sean Payton said as much. He said, look, we're going to be 1, 2, or 3. We don't care about any of that. We're worried about the Colts. You have that game next Monday night, Boog. What's the early read on Saints-Colts in the Dome?
Well, the Colts defense is a bend but don't break defense. So I think as long as the Saints come to play, they're going to have plays to be made. The key for the Saints is going to be really simple. Can they match the speed of the Colts? The Colts may be one of the fastest teams I've seen. They're not a big team, T-Bob. Like, their defensive tackles are 275, 280 pounds. Linebackers are 215, 220. But they just run, man. They run. Jameis Winston hit them for about 400 yards passing. So if you're Drew Brees, you got to feel pretty damn good. But again, you got to be able to match their speed and their athleticism. And for a Saints defense, what I would say is don't sleep on Marlon Mack. I think Marlon Mack is a top 10 running back in football. I think he's going to come in there. The best part of the Colts is their offensive line. So you can't allow those 5 guys up front to control the game and play keep away with Drew Brees.
Yeah, not good with some of the Saints' injury problems with Davenport. We're waiting on news to see how injured Rankins may be after he loses Sunday's game. How important is that, Boog, just kind of the luck of staying healthy if you're one of these teams trying to win a Super Bowl?
It's a big part of it. I mean, I've been there. Having won 2 championships, I can tell you that injuries are going to happen. I'll give you a prime example. When I was with the Bucs, I got hurt. And if it were not for a guy named Chuck Darby who came in and filled in admirably, our defense would have suffered. So you're going to get injuries. It's about that depth, though. Do you have guys when Davenport gets hurt, can the next guy in line step up? And he doesn't have to be Davenport, but what he can't be is he can't be a liability. Because what happens is when Davenport goes out, now you look at Rankins and Jordan and Davis, those guys got to step up, okay? And they're very capable of doing that. But what you can't have is the guy that replaces Davenport be a liability where the other team says, let's go right at that guy. That's what you can't have.
Booger Mcfarland every Wednesday here, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, brought to you by Central Plumbing Company. Boog, the Patriots at the center of a controversy again. They had a videographer over in Cincinnati last weekend. They had tape of the sidelines for 8 minutes. New England Patriots coach Bill Belichick was on a conference call Tuesday denying any involvement, but the Patriots have come out and said, look, they made a mistake. They were doing it. They admitted the wrongdoing. What do you make of this story, and what's the talk about the Patriots with this stuff? Because this is not the first time this has happened.
Well, I think overall, here's what I would say. Do the Patriots push the envelope? Absolutely. They've been to 9 Super Bowls and they won 6. So I'd push the envelope too. I might even push it over and cut it open 2 or 3 times if I could win a Super Bowl. Here's the issue, perception and reality. The perception is that anytime New England is mentioned with cheating, everyone thinks they did it. In this situation, I believe Bill Belichick, though. But it's perception and reality. Perception is, yeah, you did it before, so you're probably doing it again. But honestly, do we honestly think that the Patriots need to cheat to beat the Cincinnati Bengals? Like, let's just realize who we're talking about. If this is the Ravens who we lost to, okay. But this is the Bengals, the Cincinnati Bengals. So I honestly believe Bill Belichick, especially when you go back and check the story out. They've been doing this whole do your job thing for the last several weeks. So everything kind of checks out, but it still smells anytime the word cheating and Patriots are mixed together.
Well, it's like, Boog, to your point, when you tell me, do you really think they do that Cincinnati? I'm like, yeah, because Bill Belichick's that crazy. Because like that's kind of the reputation that Belichick and the Patriots have built for themselves. Boog, you want to talk a little LSU at beatdown in Atlanta? SEC champs, 13-0. Where'd you watch that game Saturday?
I was actually in my hotel room, man. We were in Philadelphia. We got done early, and I was in my room, tucked in, had the heater on. I had my little pajamas on, and I watched the game, man. It was, I don't know why that's funny, Jordy, but it was one of those
visual.
things, man.
Yeah, exactly. You just snuggled up, a little hot cup of cocoa, loving some LSU jams on.
Yeah, well, it wasn't LSU. It was more like Christmas jammies early. Here's the thing I'll say. If you look at what LSU has done all year long, they've been super consistent offensively. Their playmakers have made plays. They've remained healthy. And that's the one thing I think LSU fans realize we can count on. I think every LSU fan went into the game thinking which defense is going to show up. And for the second week in a row, the defense that plays hard, that flies around, that makes plays showed up. Stingley has been very consistent here lately. Oof. And I think if this LSU team that we saw the last 2 or 3 weeks shows up, they can beat anybody. I know we're a 10-point favorite against Oklahoma. Here's what I can tell you about Oklahoma, guys. Having covered college football for several years, Oklahoma is explosive. They hate the SEC. Everybody in that town is going to go into their game saying, this is us, not against LSU, but against the entire SEC. Yeah. They're going to play all the clips and all the motivation. Jalen Hurts is going to come in there and say, hey, guys, I've beat this team before. I know what it takes. And so regardless of what the spread says, regardless of what the statistics say, this will be a very tough game. Lincoln Riley is a great, not good, he is a great XO coach. He will have plays schemed up. He may be the most creative offensive mind LSU has played all year. So I don't worry about the spread. I go into this game again. We know we can count on an offense and be consistent. Our defense has got to come to play, and our defense has got to be ready to go against Jalen Hurts, because what hurt us against Ole Miss? Running quarterback.
Yeah.
What do they have?
Yeah.
Maybe the best running quarterback that we've seen. May not be the fastest, but Jalen Hurts is super strong. He's athletic. So this will be a tough game. But I do like our chances of, if we win this game, we come to New Orleans, and we get a chance to atone for the last time we were there to win a national championship. I think all of those things bode well. But again, the defense has to come to play. And, oh, by the way, with the rumors of Aranda and the head coaching thing, a lot of distractions. And those are good things because when you win, teams want to come and get a part of your success.
Yeah.
But we got to make sure that we keep our eye out on the prize, which is beating Oklahoma to set up a chance to win a championship in our state.
Louisiana's own Booger Mcfarland from Monday Night Football. He's coming home to South Louisiana to call the Saints and the Colts on Monday night inside the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. He's here every Wednesday on Off the Bench. Have a good call. Thank you, man.
Always. Hi, the beignet. Hey, T-Bob.
Yes, sir.
Can I get you to go by Cafe Du Monde and have them greet me at the airport with a dozen beignets, please?
Well, I think there's actually a Cafe Du Monde in the new airport now. So you can just go straight get your beignets right there in the brand new airport. Also, Bug, I may be joining the Peloton family. So, I'll start. I'm going to start whooping you up in those classes.
And by the way, I haven't been to the new airport because when we had you guys' first game of the season, the new airport wasn't open.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that.
Hell yeah, man. Well, I know Louisiana's happy to have you back, Bug. Hope you have a snug week, and we'll see you Monday night.
That was cheesy, but thank you.